Today is July 12, 2018. The Sacramento Bee came out with this fluff piece yesterday telling the world that California is saving the planet from humans while simultaneously growing its economy. All of this, of course, is BS, and what they are doing is they are enabling the state government, giving them an excuse to double down on the destructive policies that are forcing thousands to move out of the state. California beat its 2020 goals for cutting greenhouse gases. California has beaten its self-imposed goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions, achieving a milestone in the state's fight against climate change. The California Air Resources Board announced Wednesday that total statewide carbon emissions fell to 429 million metric tons in 2016, a drop of 12 million tons from the year before. The decline means California met the legislature's goal of reducing emissions to 1990 levels, and did so a full 4 years before the target year of 2020. So look at what's going on here. California is a total mess. People can't get out of the state quick enough, and this is what they are focusing on. Governor Jerry Brown and other state officials said the results prove the state's portfolio of anti-carbon laws and regulations is succeeding. These people are literally satanic. Carbon is a building block of life, and they have laws on the books to get rid of carbon, which means they want to get rid of life. It should be no surprise that these are the same people screaming about abortion in the street right now. Regulations are succeeding and showed California can fight climate change while still enjoying a significant economic boom. They pledge to continue to fight efforts by President Donald Trump's administration to roll back strict emission rules imposed by the Obama administration. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a clip. It's about 2 minutes long, but if you care about this subject matter, it is very important you pay close attention to what is being said here. This was taken at my city council at the end of 2016, about a year and a half ago.
Okay, I guess I'm going to start with the general plan document. On 29, when it talks about reducing greenhouse gases, how are we going to evaluate that?
Page 29?
Yeah. 27. How are we going to do that? Yeah. I mean, it says adopt a plan to evaluate greenhouse gases. So how are we going to measure if we're reducing greenhouse gases or not as a city?
Now, how do you measure it?
Yeah, that was my question.
I know. I have 3 daughters, and they often tell me, and I often tell them, you need to study, you need to study, you need to study. Well, my exam is not until next week or next semester or next year. Well, I still tell them you need to study. And what we're telling through this plan in this community is you can still, when you have the resources, because this was a resource-constrained general plan effort. Jeff talked about the resources, and we didn't scope out doing a base analysis for greenhouse gases. The city can still pursue that analysis and still come up with quantifiable measures. What we've chosen to do is to adopt all of the strategies, best management practice strategies, and then you can certainly continue to measure how effective you're going to be on those strategies. So you have the strategies within the downtown plan, you have the strategies within your general plan. What you don't have is measurement tools that would come off a base saying, what are our greenhouse gases today? What are greenhouse gases likely to be if we were to build for this general plan for the next 20 years? That exercise you can still conduct. What we have tried to do in this general plan is implement all the strategies, all the best management practices that would be consistent with the regional transportation plan and the sustainable community strategies.
So do I understand it that, in other words, we do not have a way to measure it? Is that how I understand it?
You do not have a way to measure it today.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what, thank you. That's what I thought I heard.
So you just heard it. There is no quantifiable way to calculate greenhouse gas reductions. What they are doing is they are saying we have this many miles of bike lanes, we have this many buses, we have installed X number of electric vehicle charging stations, we have installed X number of solar panels. Hey guys, we did more of this crap than we planned on originally. Therefore, we have reduced emissions. Therefore, we are saving the planet. It doesn't matter that no one is using most of these things. What matters is we put it down. This is fake science. One thing we always hear from the left is that they are pushing real science. The science of climate change is fake science. It presumes that carbon, a building block of life, is bad for the planet. This right here is a real tweet during the Obama administration. They actually said publicly that the sun is bad for plants. This is not real science. These are the same people who declared that CO2, carbon dioxide, which is plant food and comes out of our bodies, is a dangerous pollutant. The Trump administration, believe it or not, refuses to walk back this policy, and it would be a game changer if they did. And don't forget that the fake science people are the same people who say that gender is not assigned at birth, but instead is a social construct. And since they brought it up, let's talk about the economy. They claim that by doing all these things, they are stimulating economic growth. Seriously? In San Francisco, it's so bad that a medical convention had to cancel their appearance for safety reasons. 20-pound piles of crap are dumped in the street. This is how it looks in Los Angeles right now. These are not homeless people. These are illegal street vendors, illegal aliens being allowed to operate. This is third world living, yet they say the economy is flourishing. The cost of living is going through the roof. In San Francisco, you are considered low income if you aren't making at least $117,000 a year. That's a city most people can't survive in. And don't get me started on the price of gasoline. It is because of these policies why gasoline is so expensive in California. We always hear the statement that California is the world's 6th largest economy, and it's because of Democrat policies. The reason why California has so much wealth is because of Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and the fact that every pro sports entity has at least 4 teams in the state. And here's one example. LeBron James just signed a 4-year, $154 million contract to play with the Los Angeles Lakers. As an athlete, one thing he had to take into consideration is the state taxes. California has the highest state income tax rate in the nation at 13.5% for the top earners. I did the math, and LeBron James will be sending a check of $5 million per year, every year, to Sacramento just for the privilege of playing for the Lakers. That's $5 million that's going to go to illegal aliens and more global warming regulations. States like Wyoming don't have LeBron James to dump $5 million into their coffers. But California does, and as a result, they get to go on big spending binges. Do not let these people fool you. Humans are not breaking the weather by just being here, and California is making up these numbers about reductions. Every time there is a big fire, that is the burning of carbon. A fire burning is the definition of carbon emissions. One big fire puts more emissions into the environment than what humans can ever produce. Just by that metric alone, their numbers are completely flawed.
So your question about what is included in the general plan, what is included in the general plan, are strategies that are referenced in the Regional Transportation Plan and Sustainable Community Strategies. And those strategies are reducing vehicle miles travel through compact urban areas such as downtown area, directing growth in the downtown area, public transit, integrated transit facilities, safe opportunities to walk, bike, and other forms of transportation. So these are strategies that are included.